Hey fam, welcome back. I'm Cass.
I'm Doug.
And you are the Butler Brigade, and we are them Butlers. So, we like to keep everything simple. We like to inform you about Panama. We like to keep it real. And we're going to always give you our experience.
That's right.
That's what our page is about. Today, we're breaking down Panama Banking 101 for U.S. immigrants, foreigners, expats, whatever word you want to use. What to expect, what to prepare for, what not to do, and how to avoid the chaos that hits especially hard come December. Oddly enough, December. And yes, we're talking about that one line that most people always tend to delete when they get that quote from their immigration attorney, banking support.
Okay.
Should you hire an attorney for banking?
Oh, yeah, you should.
Can you open a bank account without them?
Yeah.
Will it be much easier, faster, and way less stressful if you do hire one?
Yeah.
Yes. Stay tuned. Panama Banking 101 for U.S. immigrants, expat. So let's start with the big picture. Panama has two main bank types. There's local banks and international expat-friendly banks. So we're going to start with the local banks. You're going to hear Banistimo, Banco General. Yes, I know. You think it says Banco General. No, it's Banco General.
Phonetics.
Multibank and Caja de Ahorros. You see these in a lot of places. They almost look like check cashing places, but it says Caja de Ahorros.
Check cashing places.
See, I know he did.
Okay.
These feel more traditional. You're going to have more paperwork, but you're going to have much more in-person appointments that you can do. Then your international and expat-friendly banks. BAC Creditmatic, Scotiabank, and Tower Bank, very popular with digital nomads. Now, here's what most U.S. expats get surprised by. They go, Panama asks for way too much dang paperwork. It shouldn't take all that paperwork to go open up a bank account. And what do they be comparing that to, Cedric?
The U.S.?
And what do we always say you need to leave?
You ain't in the United States, bank.
Stop. If they ask for your blood type in Panama to open up a bank account, we're tired of hearing people who are in our community say, it shouldn't take all that to open up no bank account. Well, Panama said it does. And if you're going to bank in Panama, you're going to have to do as Panamanians do and appease. So that's because you've never needed it for Chase. You've never needed it for Capital One. You've never needed it for Wells Fargo.
But you ain't
you're not using those banks here.
That's right.
Those banks aren't here. Panama does provide a little bit more stringent paperwork and authorization process due to, number one, they want to make sure that you're not doing or violating any anti-money laundering laws. Panama is the segue between Central America, Latin America, and North America. And let's just be real, everybody is not on the right side of the law. So to make sure that you stay on the right side of the law, they're going to put a little bit more paperwork in your life to see if you oblige or do you huff and puff and try to burn the house down.
Because when you're breaking the law, you don't want to do paperwork.
There you go. Say it again, babe, for the people in the back. Okay? International compliance standards. This is important, and large transfer monitoring. You're also going to find that a source of funds verification is needed more here. And you sit there and go, Wells Fargo ain't never care how I get my money. Well, then keep banking at Wells Fargo.
Ooh, shade.
So set realistic expectations. Number one, Panamanian banking experience is going to be slower. It is going to consist of staff that may or may not speak fluent English. Fluent. You may have to use a Google translator. You may have to.
Hey, I don't speak fluent English.
There you go. Relationship banking matters. In Panama, the relationship and coming in with someone who can vouch for you, that means a lot. That is also why the dress criteria is required here. You can't come in there with a bonnet on your head with your underwear showing and the things that are allowed in the US of A.
Booty shorts,
you're going to have to look the part as if you are supposed to be here.
Wife beaters.
Come back tomorrow is normal. You're going to hear that a lot here in Panama. There is no rush to do anything, and that includes banking. However, there are ways that you can expedite this process, and we're going to tell you how. If you've only opened online accounts in the U.S., listen, Panama banking is going to feel old school. They're going to want to see your beautiful and handsome face. They're going to want to shake a hand. They're going to want you to sit there and sign 50,000 times the same signature until it matches their passport.
Ooh,
You're
yeah.
not opening online banking 100% being complete follow through here. Like meaning the account is open and someone's going to mail you your ATM or debit card and you're going to go on.
Yeah.
That's not happening here. Leave it in the U.S. You officially have roots here in Panama, and it's a big moment to open up a Panamanian bank. And most importantly, you're not doing anything wrong. Panama just has its own pace, okay? Learn the Panama way. What to prepare while you're still in the U.S. This may help some people. This is the most important part of this episode. I like to say that. What to prepare before December if you're trying to start your 2026 year off here in Panama, or you have a goal or a relocation plan. What most banks are commonly going to ask for, and I'm going to predicate this as always. We're going to get to that part. Listen to your hired professionals, which are your immigration team and or law firm. Always listen to them. If we tell you to go to the right and your immigration attorney said go to the left, you need to be quickly turning to the left.
Yeah.
You hired them to assist you in this part. We're just helping you and helping those that may not either have an attorney yet, or they're researching and looking into is Panama going to be right for them, and they're trying to find out some of the processes that may be needed. Our processes do not exclude your attorney. We should be included in your thought process. That is all. So you're going to need, number one, passport, valid, with at least 6 months on the back end. A second ID, for most people that typically is a current driver's license, photo ID. Proof of address, that means where you will be leaving or living here in Panama. That typically can only be submitted with a lease. If you don't need any of these, we do not need to hear 5,000 comments. You just personally did not need them.
I got mine.
You didn't personally need them.
Okay.
We're giving you the list of what is typically requested. You may or may not be requested of said in all items. But to be prepared is always needed.
People who did this process 20 years ago, they'll tell you what they did 20 years ago.
A bank letter from your current U.S. bank. Keep in mind, everybody from the UK, everybody from Canada, everybody from Jamaica, we're talking U.S. You may have to insert said requirements of your said country as needed. You may need to include your income proof. That is for those of us that have pensionado visas. How are you getting your money? Guess what? Everything that I just named, there's not one thing I named that's not required or needed for your pensionado visa.
Ooh.
Therefore, that means you already have it.
Already got it.
We're not asking you to go get anything new. It's something you already have. So again, that proof of income can also be pay stubs if you are currently still employed, pension statements, tax returns, most require 2 years if needed, business documentation if you have been self-employed or you have an LLC company, those type of things. Everybody doesn't receive a paycheck. Listen closely. December is a lot of holidays. We just left November where people thought there were a lot of holidays. One thing about Panama, which I'm very proud of and I love, when it comes to national holidays, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about being open. They're closed. They're closed. Period. They're closed. Come here and try to conduct business if you want to in December. Do not let December, and you're not familiar with the holiday dates. And no, it is not just December 24th and 25th. There's a lot of other holidays in the month of December that banks are closed. And even if banks weren't closed, your attorney may not be here because they may also be traveling and doing something else elsewhere. So don't travel blindly and you haven't confirmed are these processes going to be done.
Ain't looked, ain't checked nothing.
So what you also want to do, just remember, banks slow down. Your U.S. bank also slows down.
Facts.
Remember? The U.S. is also closed and observing some holidays. Everybody slows down. Nobody's moving fast. End of the year, y'all know how it go. Even at your own job, nobody want to do anything. They look at them reports going, what they give this to me for?
That's gonna have to
Man,
wait.
that's going to have to wait till January. That's how everybody else is thinking too.
Facts.
Get these things done before your move. Any apostles that you can, any notarizations, bank letters that you can go ahead and get, employment letters, tax documents, pension letters, get those while you can. Those you can go ahead and get done. Again, confirm with your attorney on how you're moving with these because you don't want to have letters and dates that are too old. You don't want to have apostilled and notarized items that are too old and they time out. Confirm these things. Also decide your international transfer method. It's funny, we just did a consultation phone call just a few minutes ago from one of our boss members. And one of the things that they also asked is, what's the best way to wire money, or how do y'all move money? We're going to sit there and say, 6 of one, half a dozen of another when it comes to wiring money. If you're looking for the ultimate, it is absolutely free. It doesn't exist.
Wow.
Even Charles Schwab, to which we hear, it's still not free. It's reimbursed. That's not free. If people are looking for how can I get money from the U.S. and have it delivered to Panama and I don't pay a dime.
Either way,
that process does not exist. There's a fee associated in either sending, receiving in Panama, both, or you may have a reimbursement. That may happen. Now, there's levels of fees. There are levels. There's el cheap, and then there's mucho high. And that's where you're going to have to decide what's best for you. As they always say in life, cheap don't always mean good, and high don't always mean perfect. And what we mean by that is you might use wire transfers, whether that is the known national brand companies that are out there. What's that?
you mean
third parties,
yeah,
those
MoneyGram, and
But there's a caveat to those. You can't wire $10,000. You can't wire $5,000.
You got to have $10,000.
Most people, you can only wire $1,000 in a set period or time frame. That may be hard for you if you need more than $1,000. If you need to wire transfer from your U.S. bank to your Panamanian bank, that's the option that we happen to use. We do wire transfers. We typically, it leaves our U.S. bank and arrives in our Panamanian bank within 2 hours.
2 hours on a business day.
We have allocated that fee, the fee for leaving the U.S., the fee for being received in Panama, into our budgetary line items. It was a cost that we were willing to pay.
Yes.
Period. No, it's not $4. No, it is not free. It was a cost we're willing to pay. Along with that, that means that we don't do $100 wire transfers every day, just wasting our time. That's wasting your time. The amount, when Cedric is like, it's time to move said amount of money from U.S. to Panama, it's a nice amount that we now don't have to worry about that for another month or two, and we're good. You're going to have to decide on that too, because if you need $100 every other day because you just keep wanting to use wire transfers as an ATM, I can see how that's going to be very expensive for you. That's going to get expensive. Charles Schwab is one that people use because of the fact that they do offer the reimbursement process. And then others have said that there are Wells Fargo account or Chase accounts that if you have a certain amount of money deposited into your account, I believe they said it was $80,000. I'm sorry, don't quote me, because it was something that we weren't doing. That you can also wire transfer out of the U.S. for free. That doesn't mean the recipient in Panama is going to be free. Again, you can use Wise, similar to PayPal, but more on the international transfer side. And others also use Remitly. Your U.S. bank's international wire transfer services, you can do that as well. Again, these things are with a cost. International transfer volume in December. This is a new one to some people. A lot of other people are also moving money at the end of the year. Your queue for how long it takes your bank to send money depends on how many other people are also sending money. Note to self, sometimes it can take quickly because it's just a random Wednesday that you decide to wire money. You try to wire money at the end of the month, 30th, 31st, to the first of the month. That could possibly take a longer time. That's why sometimes you sit there and go, man, it took 6 hours or it took 2 hours. It depends on when you're wiring. Cedric just shared this with our caller we were talking to. Also, don't forget, wires mean Monday through Friday, non-holiday.
Yes.
Will they accept your wire? Meaning, can you press send? Yes. That doesn't mean it's going anywhere, okay?
Correct.
You're going to have to wait until the next business day before that is actually processed. And it is typically the time zone of where your bank is located, meaning their headquarters. Meaning if you're in Central Standard Time, but your headquarters for your bank is in California or West Coast time, it's based on their business time. It might be 4 o'clock for you in CST, but it is only 1 o'clock in California. Again, if that's where their headquarters is at, it's based on where their headquarters is. Might be giving you a little too much information there. All right? I know. An attorney is going to always help smooth this out, but still prepare early. We're going to always advocate hire an attorney. Opening your account in Panama, the December reality. Number one, you're in Panama. You're trying to figure out what happens now. Expat heavy areas equals more experience with foreigners. Panama City is an expat foreigner-friendly area, hence why the banks in Panama City are more familiar with how to assist you and how to help you. Traditional branches equal longer process. Could also mean more Spanish is going to have to be spoken.
Yeah.
You're going to have to understand it.
See.
Appointments versus walk-ins. Some banks require appointments. This is where your attorney comes in. We've heard people who were immigrants, expats, go, I was at the bank 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. Girl, I had lunch, dinner, and I had to leave and come back. I can almost say you didn't have an appointment, nor did you have an attorney. That's not jabbing. No. We will never jab.
No.
We're saying you have to add more to your conversation when you're telling people, I was at the bank 6, 7, 8 hours. I chose to not hire an attorney, nor did I have an appointment. That's important to the story. It's very important to the story.
Details, girl.
Some banks, they do accept walk-ins, but you can expect longer wait times even in December at any desk or at any time. At the desk, you can expect lots of forms. That's with your attorney or without. We had a lot of forms to fill out. Questions about your finances. Keep in mind, our attorney, CLP Associates, Marcos Jimenez, as well as Syria Rodriguez, they were also both there. So there were questions that was being asked about us, but to them directly because they knew the answer. So what they were asking was more than likely these items, but they were answering on our behalf. Yeah. Questions about our finances, source of funds, explanation. This said amount of money that he's getting ready to put in, how did he get this? Where did it come from?
I wished upon a star.
Initial deposit. We're going to say this over and over again. If your attorney has said to bring XYZ in $, bring it. Don't then get into the WhatsApp group and go, Susie said she went and opened up a bank account at Banco General and they told her to bring $2.50.
Wait. Why are you listening to Susie?
Y'all get here. Your attorney said bring X amount of dollars. You get in the WhatsApp group and go, hey, y'all, how much money did y'all take to open up your account?
It don't
matter.
First off,
it doesn't matter. Secondly, it depends on marital status, immigration status, dependent status. Thirdly, listen to what your attorney said to do.
Because it matters about your status.
Listen to them. If they told you to bring everything up to $10,000 because they'll never tell you to bring more than $10,000, do it. If they told you to bring $55.02, do it.
Wait. Under the pensionado.
Yeah, or whatever. Still, even if it was under the Friendly Nations visa, what did your attorney tell you to bring? What did they tell you to bring? Because that's all that matters, is what they told you to bring. Bring it. If they told you to bring a certain amount, listen to them. Don't then sit back and go, he don't know what he's talking about. I'm going to bring $100. I went to the Banco General website and it said you can open up an account with $100.
Wait. So what if we're right and they're wrong? Y'all the one who ain't gonna get a bank account. Cause we got one. Cause we listen to our attorney.
Or the fact, listen to your attorney. They're the ones that's helping you.
Just saying.
They could ask for additional documentation. Be prepared for this. They could also ask for account setup timeline. That may also vary in regards. You might not have immediate access right then at that moment. So December, you could have shorter hours that banks are available. You could have less staff because they're on vacation. They're traveling. You could have slower follow-up if you did have a question, if you did need an answer with something. You could see longer lines. People are also trying to get money to travel. They're trying to get more money to go shopping with, all kind of things. And you could have a delayed card pickup. Timeline expectations. Account approval, again, if you don't have an attorney, could be anywhere from 3 to 10 days. Most people account with their representative is approved right then because they know the documentation is going to be needed. Your attorney is there to vouch for you. You're going to walk out with your account ready to go. A debit card, remember, most people here are going to receive a pay card. That's different. That means it does not have a Visa or MasterCard logo on it. Back in the day, 80s, early 90s, you used to get those from most banks in the U.S. Mm-hmm. They did not have a Visa or MasterCard logo. They were allowed to be used in ATMs as pay cards to get money from a machine out. That is what you will most typically get immediately at any bank you use in Panama.
Correct.
They do have debit cards to what we are used to that's going to have a Visa or MasterCard logo on it. You may have to return 2 to 3 business days later to pick up that card to use for banking. I hope that is explained to many people. Online access, typically that can take, you can get that access the same day. Most of the time they will even give you your username and temporary passcode like most people, and then you have to log in and change the passcode. And you should, at the bank that you choose, if you have access to Yappy, you should walk out with access to Yappy.
That's right.
That's not what I said. You should be walking out with access to Yappy. Yappy is not one of those things you have to wait later if it's a bank that uses Yappy.
That's correct.
Okay? All banks don't use Yappy. I believe there's 4. Go to the Yappy website. They actually list the 4. They'll say, I don't know them by heart. I do know Banco General is one that uses Yappy. What is Yappy? It's Panama's version of Zelle.
Yes.
Okay? This is the least glamorous part of moving abroad, but it's one of the most empowering. Having bank access, I think, makes you feel you belong here. It makes you feel like you're part of the community. It allows you to pay for things instantly. When you're in the store or you're at a vendor, they sometimes go, I accept Yappy. Do you have Yappy? And when you say, yeah, I got Yappy, they're like, oh, okay. I mean, they feel like, oh, you one of us. You belong. You're supposed to be here. So if you're the type of person that need everything that must be perfect, lined up, it must be go your way, Panama might be a little hard for you, but I've said that over and over again because you're not going to be able to get things your way. They're not going to be, that's not how they do it. And most of the time that people are not happy is because they're comparing. They're comparing apples and oranges. Panama is its own separate country.
Look at you.
Stop comparing apples and oranges.
Don't
it's
do it,
just,
y'all.
it doesn't work that way. What might be imperfect can still be perfect depending on where you're at and how you look at it. Mistakes, delays, and how to avoid them. Number one, we're going to always say, I'm going to say this over and over again. The number one mistake is you didn't hire an attorney. I mean, you literally didn't hire an attorney, or you do have an attorney, but when you got that quote and you saw certain things on there, you said, access to bank support. Man, I don't need that. I'm 64 years old. I don't set up banks and all across the world. I don't need that. They can keep that $100. They can keep that $300. They can take that $500. Whatever the price was, I ain't paying that. That was the number one mistake.
All right.
Next ones are missing documents. They said bring proof of your income, your pension. They don't need to see that. What they need to see about my money for? I'm going to put down $500 and nab it. They better open up this bank account.
Because they're a financial institution?
They want to see it. Expecting U.S. speed, not going to happen. Panama works in its own time frame. Once again, you're comparing apples and oranges.
You ain't gonna
Doing
change.
Everything last minute. You waited until 3 o'clock on a Thursday to go open up a bank account, and now you want to know why it's not ready and what's taking them so long. And these people, they so slow. Man, they ain't gonna never call my name. Ooh, Lord. Okay, first off, don't go no place hungry. I say this all the time. Just don't do it. Y'all know, some of us, when we hungry, we get frustrated. Some people, when we're hungry, get frustrated. However long you think it's going to take, add double that. If you feel like in your head this should take an hour, then make it take 2. If you feel like this should take 2 hours, make it take 4. Therefore, you're going to be highly surprised when it took less. If you feel like it's 11 o'clock, and you know what, I know I'm going to eat lunch at 12, go eat lunch. Go eat lunch. If you have someplace you need to be in another hour, and now you mad that they ain't even called your name an hour and 20 minutes into your appointment, you did that.
Yeah.
Don't schedule everything on the same day. If you have a hair appointment, a doctor's appointment, or you need to go do something else, banking should be a day set aside on its own. Period.
See.
On its own. Speaking zero Spanish and trying to manage a loan, you should have definitely hired an attorney. If you speak no habla español and you're mad that they don't have any English speakers at the bank, whose mistake was that?
That's your fault, man.
Overscheduled, I just said this, immigration plus banking plus housing and all this stuff in the same day, that was too much. Use a lawyer if you're overwhelmed. I can 100% tell people, when they get to telling me, this was so much, I go, you didn't have an attorney. Build buffer days, add expected time, expect backup, expect delays, join our expat group and forums to get some help, prepare all digital and printed copies beforehand. All of that is important. You need to do it. So, Panama's banking system is extremely regulated. It is definitely safe. Your job is not to outsmart the system. Just follow the checklist. You're not stupid for feeling confused. You might be confused.
Because you ain't never done this before.
Locals get frustrated too, especially in opening up a bank account. But there is help there. Banking is going to be your foundation going into 2026 for paying your rent, paying your utilities, paying for school, your tuition, local services. I told you, Yappy, paying for those kind of things. Reducing fees from those U.S. cards. You might be able to rely on just now using your Panamanian bank. Remember, many services also raise prices in January, so understanding your banking plus cost of living together lets you create a realistic 2026 budget. If you have not watched episode 4 yet, that was the breakdown of the real cost of living, talking about that budget. You need to go watch that after this video. So, if this helped, hit like, not gonna say it, comment, and drop your questions below. Share this with someone who you think Panama banking would work beneficial for them, those people that keep asking all the kind of questions. How this 2 minute US online app we're going to tell you about can also help. It doesn't, spoiler, it really doesn't. It doesn't help.
Yeah, why you talking about it then, man?
It doesn't help. But if you really enjoyed this, comment below. Let us know what questions you have about US banking. Like, share, comment.
Subscribe.
With that, we're out, y'all.
Later, brigade.